Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Gigi. How you guys doing? So today I want to talk about some downloaded thoughts that I was just having with myself. Just me and Spirit, just going back and forth. A lot of self-realization and stuff like that. So I want to speak on doubt. Something that I've single-handedly been a part of. From myself to other people doubting me, for me doubting other people. Um, it's something that stemmed from, it's something that, been attached to me, I could say that since childhood, from other people, which then transferred over to me. Um, you know, um, a lot of people, can throw out their fears and their lack of faith and stuff like that upon you. And a lot of people like to do it to people, especially as kids. And it was definitely upon me as a child. It was like, put upon me as a child. I just wanted to say that. And like I said, I was just sitting back here and just looking at all the things that I've half-assed, all the things that I've, never really jumped on, all the things that I've sat on, all the things that I've, doubted and debated, and, all the opportunities that have definitely passed me by because I didn't jump on it, and all the opportunities that I've jumped on, and I've gotten, and things that just was not meant. That I jumped on and it just wasn't meant. And I could go for previously, I went to a job interview, and while I was there, I got there a little early. And while I was there, you know, it was a place that, I frequent whenever I can. I buy like nice candles and stuff from this place, and it was just like, um, and I think, I don't know why, but as I got there a little bit early, probably like a half hour or something like that, and I just sat down because I started going back and forth in my head, and I was just like, do I really want this job? Like, is it gonna really make me happy? Like, I just started going back and forth, and I sat down and I was just like, do I really want it? And yada yada yada, and what is the benefit of it? Like, am I really gonna see myself getting up to come here? Like, am I gonna be happy here? Like, and just going back and forth and just having this conversation to myself, and I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable. And normally when you're uncomfortable, it's even two things. It's even you need to go away from it, or you need to go towards it. Like, it's either a warning to move the fuck away, or it's a push to go towards it. So I was just like, just really trying to hone in on my intuition, really see what it was. So, I was like, you know what, let me give it a chance, let me give it a try and see what it's going to be. And I got there, the atmosphere was cool and stuff like that. And I got there, I did the interview, it was dope. The lady loved me, and she was just, like, oh, I want to hire you on the spot. And we started talking and whatever. Then I got home, and it was just like, like, I don't know, it's like my whole vibe around it changed. My whole vibe around it changed. And I'm the type of person, like, when I'm, no matter what it is, it could be a job interview, it could be school, it could be, a hobby or whatever. Like, if I'm gun ho and I'm into it, then it's like my feelings don't change for it because it's something that I really, really want to do. But if I have to, like, second or double or triple or quadruple, like, guess it, then it's like it's something there for me. And I wound up not taking the job because I just wasn't, like, connected to it. And if I'm not, you know um energetically connected to, whatever I'm doing, it's not going to be good because first off, I'm gonna be hella bored. it's like it's not gonna make me happy, and I'm gonna wind up leaving anyway. So it's like I might as well leave in the beginning before shit even gets started. That way, it's not like I'm putting myself through all this shit, and and sometimes, like I said, sometimes that could definitely be doubt. That could definitely be, that doubtful voice, that doubtful energy, that ego, that pride kicking in. It's like you don't need this, you don't need that. But with me, um it's like I it's either a hit or a miss in the beginning. It's like a first impression. It's even like a hit or a miss. It's just like if I'm gun ho on it, then it's a go. I remember it was one job that I got, and this was like 2 years ago, and I don't like to this day. It was a reason. I know now the reason why I got that job. Because if it wasn't for, my journey and everything like that, I wouldn't have had gotten this job. Like me myself, I'm on, my own twin flame journey. My own growth and healing and ascension, and just my own learning. So it's like it was a reason why I got that job, because I think if I was not on this journey, and it was just like a normal, like a regular interview, I probably wouldn't have even had it. Like my words were jumbled up. I couldn't really articulate, but I still got the job anyway. So Spirit was basically like, you're gonna get the job whether you like it or not. Like it's gonna happen. You're gonna get it. It's the reason why you need to get this job. Because it's somebody there that you need to meet. And I'm 100% grateful. That I've met my person. I'm grateful of the journey, and the connection, and everything. Like I said, I'm just a naturally grateful person, and any type of connection that I make with people is always genuine. It's either I like you or I don't. It's not like I half like you, or I somewhat sort of kinda. It's either I like you or I don't. Like if I don't like you, you're gonna know, because I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna, give you any time of day. If you talk to me, I'm just gonna just look at you like you got doodle on your face. I'm gonna just be like, why are you talking to me? It's like it's not there. Um, and like I said, going back towards, doubt and stuff like that. Growing up, it was always, people doubting me and the things that I wanted to do, and try to manipulate me to do what they wanted to do. Um, you know, and and being told when you're young that you can't do something because you're not good enough definitely affects you. And especially if it's something that continues into your youthful years and your teenage years, and even your young 20s and stuff like that. It can definitely be detrimental to your psyche and stuff like that. So like I said, I was a person, like I've let other people's um perspective, and other people throw their doubts, worries, and anxiety onto me, and carry that on as my burden, where technically it's not my burden to carry. Um, and it's not your burden to carry neither. If somebody, just like I said, I literally half assed a lot of things. Like I could have been so much further in life than now. But literally when you do things and you have people in the back just doubting you and telling you, you're not good enough, that's not gonna work, that's not gonna happen, and then you feel like, you're alone, you don't have nobody there. um it's like, where's your support team? And then you have to really kind of go through that healing phase of, you are your own emotional support team, you are your own support team, you are your biggest support team. um so and it's like, like I said, I've allowed, okay, airplane, I've allowed, doubt and procrastination to really like swindle over me and swaddle me and take over and do a lot of different things. And that's something that, I'm definitely working out of. Like I've come a long way. I want to say like I've really, 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 really came a long way. It's to the point where, you know, um, just really voicing my opinion and letting things be known. Like if I like something, if I don't like something, if I think something is a stupid ass idea or something like that, I tend to just be like, no, that's not gonna work. That's kind of stupid. That doesn't, and then I give my thoughts on it. Whether people take it or not, it's like, well, she thinks it's dumb. She's not gonna do it. And it's like, yeah, it's dumb. It doesn't like it doesn't make sense to me. Um, so, it's like, why do you self-doubt? So we discovered that maybe it was, it's something that been it's been in your life since you was a child, right? So people telling you that you can't do nothing, you're not good enough, you don't look good enough. Maybe they talk about your skin, maybe they talk about your hair, maybe they talk about your weight. Like I have big feet, so you know like sometimes my stepfather would talk about that. It's like, oh, well, your feet is so big, and it's like, but why does that matter? Like, why is that like a big factor and highlight of my outfit? If it's like, oh, you look nice. Whoa, look at those shoes. The shoes is like, okay, but why is that? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do there. I don't know if you're trying to make me feel bad if I have big feet. Like your wife got big feet, the rest of the family, like we all got big feet. Like I don't understand. Like that's not gonna make me any less attractive. That's not gonna make people not like me. Um so it's like I don't understand. Like maybe you just don't like females with big feet, but that don't got nothing to do with me because you're not for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I literally had people talk about my weight. I had people talk about my looks. I had people just talk about me in general. And I never really understood like why somebody really go out their way to really try to like, you know, um, tear somebody down and talk about their looks and all this other stuff. Like I never found like the hype and that. Like if you're annoying, I'm gonna just be like, oh my god, this fucker is so annoying and stuff like that. But to sit there and really be like, oh, look at this person here. Like literally when I was in high school, I was friends with a girl. And she had this afro, and it was like her hair was like a natural red, and some people might call it like a burnt orange. It was like that, but it was an afro, and people used to always talk about the afro. But I thought like it made her more interesting and stuff like that. And then she wrote really big, and I was just like, damn. Like, and I told her this, like, damn, you write big as hell. Like, your paragraph is a page and a half. Like, why you write so goddamn big? But that's how she wrote. She wrote big, and people used to make fun of her hair and her appearance because it was like she really didn't have money, so she couldn't really go out there and really dress up and do stuff. And she had this fucking red afro. She was light skinned with red hair. It was unusual because she wasn't, white. She was black. She had red hair. She had like this burnt orange reddish hair, and people, didn't understand. They would pick on her, but I became friends with her because I thought it made her more interesting. And I kind of, and it drew me to her because it was just like, I'm not the person that hang around like the popular people and stuff like that. So I really didn't care. But, getting back to the whole story, because, listen, somebody needed to hear that. When you are going through doubt, especially as you get older and you're in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, you have to just sit back and understand and come to conclusions on why you doubt yourself. Is it because you don't think you're worthy enough? Is it because you don't think that you're going to be successful enough? Is it because you think people aren't going to look at you or you're not going to make money? Like if it's a business that you're going through, okay, I understand you might be getting into the hair business. Thousands of people do hair. Like you go on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. Thousands of people are on there selling hair, promoting hair, doing hair. But it's like what sets you in it, and I understand it can be quite intimidating because you want to kind of get out there. But it's like, what is it about you that's going to set you apart from thousands of other people? that's going to make people look at you and look at your brand and what you're selling and come towards you. So you have to think of who you are, and you have to be true to who you are and trust and believe that, it's going to work out for you. If it comes to creating a YouTube channel, it's like, what is stopping you from creating a YouTube channel? Do you think people are not going to watch your videos? Like, if you go through my video history, of course, I'm not the most consistent person or whatever, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, really tune into what you want to do and your target audience, or what are you gonna, is it gonna be like mukbangs? Is it gonna be a lifestyle channel? Is it gonna be beauty and fashion? If it's going to, be teaching, and teaching can be anything. You could be teaching languages, teaching math, teaching, how to read, teaching the word of the Bible, like teaching spirituality. It could be teaching anything. It could be anything. It could be cooking. It could be singing. It could be dancing. It can be, DIYs and stuff like that. Like, it can literally be anything, and you have to really hone in on what you want to do and how are you going to put this out to people. How are you going to continue to be yourself and continue to get people to view you? Of course, you're not going to be for everybody. You're going to have haters, you're going to have naysayers, you're going to have all of that. You're going to have people that love you, you're going to have people that don't like you. But guess what? The people that don't like you are still going to watch your video. They're going to be subscribed to your channel. They're going to share it, and they're going to comment. So therefore, you got a thumbs down on your video, but you got their view and you got their subscription. If you start in a clothing line, they might talk shit about it, but guess what? They bought it. You might sell hair. They might talk shit about your wigs. They might talk shit about your hair, but guess what? They bought it. They wore it. So what? It's like, how you gonna hate me and still rock my shit at the same time? Like, you hate me, but you watching my videos. So it's like, you actually really love me. You actually really, really like me. Like, you the first person. Like, soon as you upload your video, that person is the first person watching your video. They like, oh, they stop their whole entire day, their whole entire conversation, they wake up out they sleep to watch you, to sit there and talk shit about you as they're watching you. So not only are they giving you your view, but they're also talking about how much they don't like you. But they know your every move. They follow you on social media. They buy your products. They do everything. So it's like, what more do you? It's like, what do you want? It's like, what do you want? Like, why are you here? So, you gotta go back into that. Like, what is making you self-sabotage? What is giving you this self-doubt? Like I said, is it because you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you don't have people in your corner that's going to support you? Um, it's like, is it is it, internally, like, is it, you're worried about your looks and how people going to view you, your body, your hair, like superficial stuff, like what is it? Like, a lot of things that kind of set me back, it was because I was the type of person that always felt that I needed everything. Right? I needed everything at one time to start something, instead of just buying little by little and building my way up. It was like I needed everything at once. It's like I didn't want to buy little by little. I wanted to buy everything at once. I needed everything at once. And then it was just like, what are you doing? You don't need everything at once. You just need the things that you need to get started. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're doing nails, you need your nail table. Of course, you need, your nails. You need your nail polish. You need your, the all the stuff that you need just to make sure that you have a good set of nails. But you don't need, you need your drills and stuff like that. But you don't need 100 nail polishes. You don't, like, even on Amazon they have, you could buy like like it's like a bundle nail polish for like 20 something, not like $19 or whatever. And then they have nails where you can buy them and it's like 500 pieces for like $6. And you know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to have a whole nail salon before you start nails. It's like because you're a beginner, you're still learning. Even if you're going to do like clothing hauls and stuff like that. It's like you don't need to be a size 4 and in shape to do it. Just go on Instagram and go on YouTube and search plus size clothing haul, and you'll see people that's like 6X, 5X that's out there doing fashion hauls and stuff like that. So it's like you don't need to have that superficial body to start something. You don't need to look a certain way to start something, or you don't need to have everything to start something. So that was something that I definitely had to learn, and I had to learn patience, and that things actually takes time to grow into men and to get there. And like I said, I it was the one girl. She sold lip gloss, but she sold a bunch of other stuff now. But when I was watching her last year or the year before, I want to say the year before, I want to say 2019. She said, it took her 3 years to make $100,000 versus, people that they can make that in a couple of hours. It's like some people are, they know people that know people that know people that can push their stuff out quicker. And you might be a person that's not known, like me, I'm a person that's not known. So of course, it's going to take a little bit longer for us to get out there, but you have to be one consistent, and especially if you're selling merchandise or if you're selling any type of product, you have to be your advertiser. You have to be your marketer. You have to be, you know, um, your model and stuff like that. Like you have to go out there. You have to be your own promoter. You have to be your business. You have to be the person behind and in front of the camera, until you can get, up there to where you have people to be in front of the cameras for you. But you would definitely have to go back and figure out why do you self-sabotage and what do you self-sabotage and in what way that you do it, and really try to really get a grip on the patterns, especially the in the moment situations where it's like it's happening in that moment and you can grasp it and you can understand it and you can really just heed. Like you can really just grab onto it and say, aha, I know what it feels like, I know what it looks like, I know how to identify it. So let me really do some deep diving and figure out why. Right? You want to come down to the why. Like, why am I doing this? Like, what is it? Is this something that I'm not supposed to be doing, or something that I'm supposed to be going towards? But you just have to, like, everybody is different. You have to figure out your way. Like I said, my self sabotage and my doubts was, like I said, it was more of non support, feeling like I just needed everything at one go. And it's like you don't really need everything at one go. So now I'm in the process of, birthing a lot of new great things and just taking time, patience, right? Just taking time to really go through the motions and really figure out what is it that I really want to do, and nailing it down. Like I already know what I want to do. It's just getting the things that I need to get, the necessary basis of things, like the key components, you know, um, the key components. That's like, if you want to create wigs, first you need a wig head, right? And then you need your needle and thread, you need your wig caps, and the main part that you need is hair, right? You need hair. So, you have to go and you have to find hair vendors and you have to ask for samples, and some of them will give you samples and you just have to pay shipping. Um, and stuff like that. Just like clothing, if you want to get into, you want to be bigger than Fashion Nova, but you have to go out there and you have to, start your brand. Like, what is the your clothing line going to be called? Do somebody else have that name? Do you have to go into, getting your LLC and your seller's permit so you can go on these websites and buy stuff or sample, like if you're trying to start like a t-shirt or hoodie line, you have to like, what is your logo going to be, or your slogan, or whatever that's going to be, and you have to sample that, right? So you have to be your own clothes promoter, you have to be your own fashion model, so you have to, people are going to see you with it first, and depending on how you style it and how you treat it, people are going to be like, whoa, that's actually pretty dope. And then you start talking about it. Hey, I have this, I have that, I have this. And and it just ways that it goes, it just ways that it happens. But I mean, like I said, everything starts with you. You have to be the first person to take that leap. You have to be the first person to take that step. Um, and this could trickle down into relationships. It could trickle down into school. Relationships. Why do you self-sabotage relationships, and or you go after one, specific type of, you know, personality, and you know that that's not a good personality for you, but you go after it anyway because it's familiar to you. It's safe, right? It's familiar. You know what it is. You know that it's not going to bring you any type of joy. It's going to be fun in the beginning, and then it's going to crash and burn. And versus going towards something that's totally different, that's out of your norm, that's out of your comfort zone, but that's going to make you happy day in and day out. It's no crash and burn. Like, you're going to have your ups and downs, but you're going to be able to get through it. You understand what I'm saying? Versus always having ups and downs and not being able to figure out how to get through it. So, it's like, it doesn't make sense. And that, you can use that for school, like getting your degree. And it's like you get a degree in something that you're not going to actually put to use. So it's like, why do you have it? You have it because other people wanted you to have that degree, but it's not something that you actually wanted, you know? So it's like, you get your degree in law, but you actually want to do something totally different. Like, you want to be a social studies teacher. You gotta get where I'm going. It's like, you gotta figure out like what makes you happy and what you want to do, and how you can, you gotta have like prep talks with yourself. Like, I have this app on my phone. It's like an affirmations app, and I only, because I didn't buy the pro, the upgraded one, so I was limited to the affirmations that I can select to to come through my phone. And then it was a while that I didn't even like I didn't receive anything because I didn't like set it up to like come through again. And recently, this is all spirits done. I have a whole new set of affirmations that come through my phone. And it happens, like I said, I haven't been on the app, so I haven't selected any new affirmations. I haven't even um reset the reminders for the previous affirmations to even pop back up because I haven't been on the app. Like, I haven't opened it, I haven't touched it, and now a whole new flow of affirmations have been coming through. And this is just spirit's way of talking to me. So anytime I'm in any type of emotions, I'm going through anything, it's like I would get either before, during, or after, I would get the most accurate affirmation. Um, and then to come through my phone, and then I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, yeah. And like I said, sometimes we can identify and recognize things and we just don't want to deal with it, so we tend to turn the blind eye and play the, oops, I didn't see that. We tend to just be oblivious to everything. Like, what? That happened? Wow, that's crazy. And instead of, especially those things that's making us miserable, instead of us, you know, seeing why it makes us miserable and learn that we're the person that's actually keeping us in that misery. It's not the situation. It's actually you that's keeping you stuck in that misery. That's when everything would change, because then it's like, wait, this is all happening because of me. But then you have to understand that it's a lesson in that as well. So you have to learn the lesson of that. And, it's funny because um, I used to always call my mother nosy and be like, "Oh, you always in other people's business and you put all your time and energy into shit that has nothing to do with you." And then I find myself in a situation that's similar, and then I have to say those words to myself, and it's like, "Wait, why are you in this business anyway? Like it has nothing to do with you. Like it has completely nothing to do with you." And it's like, "Oh, okay, you're just a nosy ass person. Like get out of it." So sometimes you have to, take that finger and point it back towards yourself and fact check yourself and be like, "For motherfucker, like what was happening? What's going on?" Um, and really understanding the root of the situation and why you are the way you are and why you do the things you do and why you have the doubt that you have and why you half-ass everything. Like, what is the reason for you half-assing things? It's like, okay, you wanna start a book. You want to start writing a book. You write a couple of paragraphs and then you toss the book to the side. It's like, why are you half-assing that? Just complete it. And like I said, that's where a lot of doubt and fear and anxiety start to creep back in because it's the you're not good enough to write that. Who's gonna read your book? You're not gonna be a bestseller. You're not it's this and it's all this negative thought and you have to basically just take that and turn that into a positive. So when you start to get those negative thoughts, you have to and it's like, well, you're not good enough for this. It's like, you're right. I'm not good. I'm not good enough because I'm surpassed good. I'm beyond outstanding. I'm beyond good. Like, good is an understatement. Good is like punching me in the stomach and saying that your mama joke. Like, I'm beyond that. Like, I've surpassed that. I've risen above good. So I'm outstanding. So you're right. You have to kind of say those things to yourself, and definitely it'll help if you say your daily affirmations to yourself, or if you download like an affirmation app where on your phone or your tablet or whatever, these apps will just these affirmations will randomly pop up. It's not like you set them to pop up at a specific time. It's on the app and it pops up throughout the day. And sometimes you just need to sit down and just have a conversation with yourself, light your sage, just really get back in the groove. Like I said, I've definitely fell out of my groove that I have, but I'm getting myself back into my groove. You know what I'm saying? Like I've allowed a lot of things to like derail and detour me. Um, but those things were needed to happen because it took me off my path for a reason to see that wow, I have actually allowed this that wasn't even that fucking important. That wasn't even you know, that didn't really do anything for me. Like it didn't do anything for me, but it derailed me off. I've allowed, it's like you have to take accountability. You have to take accountability for your actions and what you've allowed so far. So if you're in a relationship that's suck ass, you have to take accountability that you are keeping yourself in that relationship. If you're getting a degree that you don't want, but you're just doing it to make other people happy, you have to take accountability for that action. Like you're not living in your true authenticity, like you're not living in your true you know purpose. It's like you're just doing things to make other people happy, and you can't do things to make other people happy. If people don't like the shit that you do, then oh well. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a bigger girl. Like I said, and I was, definitely body conscious. It's like, oh, I can't wear with the skinny girls, where I can't do this, I can't do that. And then I had to kind of think about it and was like, well, I actually can, but that's where the self-doubt come in at because of, when I was younger, it all goes back to those childhood traumas, like, the childhood, the doubts and stuff like that. It's like, oh, being called fat and, or being told you're too skinny or, you got too much body or whatever. It's like, those things creep back in. It's like, oh, you can't wear what they wear. Like, look at their body and look at yours. Or you can't, do this, look at them and look at you and stuff like that. So, you definitely have to go back and dig into that bag. I know y'all don't want to dig into the bag, but you got to dig into the bag of those childhood traumas and really pull out that long, what childhood traumas like, it's like taking, I don't know how old some of y'all are, but it's like if y'all remember that show from the 90s, it's called The Big Comfy Couch. And I remember the girl, I forgot her name. It was just at the tip of my tongue. And she was pulling, it was like a rope, but it was like different colors attached to each other. It wasn't even a rope. It was just like fabric. I'm just going to say it was just like fabric, and she was just pulling and 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 pulling. And sometimes that's how childhood traumas could be. It's like you got to dig and 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 dig until you get to the bottom of it, and then you can understand like the whole scenario. And sometimes people are going to throw their own fears onto you, like, and sometimes you just have to look at that. Like I've noticed the fear, um, the projection of fear that my mother threw on my siblings and myself, and then I had to step back and be like, well, this is actually not my fear. This is actually your fear, and because you were so fearful, you threw it on us, which kept us from doing it and put us in fear of it. But it's really not our fear. It's really yours. So, now that I see that my sister is doing it, I'm just like, you can't do that because then these kids are gonna grow up, fearing your fears, and that's not their fear. It's like you're projecting all of this shit onto them that doesn't need to be projected. So you have to really look at that too. A lot of people will project their insecurities onto you so you won't get ahead because they were never able to do it. But now that you're doing it, it's a different thing. So, that's definitely something to really look at. And I just want y'all to really look at a lot of things where y'all half ask yourself and that y'all really hold yourself back, and really the things that y'all really want to do that y'all not doing, and come to an understanding of why you're not doing it. Like, what is it about it that you're not doing? Like, what is stopping you? What is holding you back? I recently just talked to a dude that was just like, he wanted to get into yoga, and I told him, I said, what's stopping you? And he was just like, he wants to be able to do the positions perfectly. I said, well, you're not an expert. I said, so you're a beginner. You're never going to do the positions perfectly because especially if you're not as flexible, you're gonna need to work to get there. I said, but there's many a ways that you can do it. You can go on Amazon and buy a yoga mat with the positions on it. You could go on YouTube and type in yoga for beginners and do yoga. I said, so it's nothing really stopping you but yourself. You feel like you need to be perfect, but you don't. You just need to get started. And that's just the thing about it. And that's the key to the whole entire thing. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it together. You don't need the meat and potatoes. you know, you just need the water in the pot with the seasoning to get started. It's like cooking. You just need to get started on the food and everything would fall into place. So it's like you're holding yourself back. You're holding at this point, it's like you're doing it to yourself. You're being your own worst nightmare. You're being your own, let down. Nobody else is letting you down. You're letting you down. It's like you gotta fix the trust issues that you have with yourself, especially if it's involved dating and stuff like that. Then you need to be able to fix the trust issues within yourself so that you can kind of trust other people. Because if your trust is fucked up, then you're projecting that onto everybody else. You're projecting like, oh, this situation isn't going to work out, and you're projecting all your insecurities and your shadow side and stuff like that onto a situation. You don't even know if it's going to work out or not. It's like you're punching yourself. It's like you're punching your own self in the face and saying, "I got beat up." It's like, yeah, you did it to yourself. Like, of course you got beat up. You beat yourself up. So, you know, that's just what I wanted to say because I was really sitting here really just thinking like about, all the holdups and holdbacks and setbacks and stuff that, been, projected towards me and that I placed upon myself. And it was just like, why isn't shit really getting started? Or why didn't I do that at this time? And when I wanted to do this, and especially if it comes to like, businesses or grand ideas, keep them to yourself until you're ready to launch that idea. Because, like I said, the more people know about you, the more projection that they can throw on you. To stop you. So when people don't know what you're doing, it leaves some type of you know, mysterious type of energy. That's what I want to say. It leaves you energetically mysterious because they can't engage you. They don't know how to get into that. So it's like they're gonna ask you questions and just if it's a business, be like I'm just doing I'm just chilling and doing my thing. Just relaxing or whatever. So if other people want to go out there and tell their business to the world, oh, I'm starting this, or I'm doing this, and let them go and do it. But if it's best for you to keep it to yourself, just imagine why people keep pregnancies to themselves for a long amount of time because it's nobody else's business. It's like it's something, until you birthed it and it's out in the world, keep it to yourself. Nobody needs to know you move. Billionaires move in secret. You know what I'm saying? Like where I work at, it's rich people live all around, and I literally have rich people that live above where I work. And one of the guys, he drive a beat up car. I forgot what type of car it was, but it's like it's dented and everything like that. And this guy, he wears like New Balances. He's like he got like the dad body, the big stomach, and he wear like the dad clothes with the fitted hat. You know, you would never know that this man has money. You would never know that this man lives in a hella expensive apartment. A hella expensive apartment. You would never know that this man had bank because he don't put it out there in people's faces. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Sometimes you just gotta wrap it up and keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't need everything to get started. You just need to get started with what you have and build up as you go. So that's just something that I just wanted to come and, just say because I just been thinking about it and stuff like that. And it was just like this really spare in the moment, just like in the moment type of situation that I was just thinking, and then the downloads was coming in, and then I was having my talk with Spirit, and all the whoop de woo. Y'all know how that goes. And I just wanted to kind of get it out there. Like it was in me and it needed to come out of me and I just wanted to give it out. So, definitely do some shadow work and really see why you're being, stagnant and why you're stagnating yourself and allowing yourself to be in situations or in a mindset and stuff like that that no longer serves you. And it don't serve you, but yet you still ain't doing nothing to stop it or to move away. It's like you can't blame nobody but yourself at this point. It's like you can't blame nobody but yourself. So take ownership and accountability for all of your actions that you've done, you've allowed, okay? That you allowed, okay? You allowed it, you know? Um, Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and all the good shit like that. And I will be back, in another video and stuff like that. So take care and have a great day.